Members of the royal family have long been advocates for ending the stigma surrounding mental health. Princess Diana, Prince Harry, Prince William and Princess Kate have all led campaigns to champion the cause. But they are not the only royals to recognize the importance of discussing the issue and, as the world marks Mental Health Awareness Day, Express. Co.uk looks back at the fascinating life of the altruistic Prince Arthur of Connaught. In the early 40s, a granddaughter of King Edward VII was named the president of the Mental Aftercare Association. Prince Arthur of Connaught was the first member of the British royal family to speak publicly about the need for mental health treatment. Born Lady Alexandra Victoria Alberta Edwina Louise Duff, she was the elder of two daughters of Princess Louise, the eldest daughter of Edward VII and Queen Alexandra, and Alexander Duff, 6th Earl of Fife. Marlene Kinnock, a royal historian who has spent over 40 years researching the royal family, praised the work of Prince Arthur, who is often forgotten in the discussion surrounding the royal relation to mental health. She told Express.co.uk, "I'm a huge proponent for Princess Arthur, not many people remember her. She was actually the first British royal to talk about mental health and she was a registered nurse who ran a nursing home during the Second World War." Ms. Kinnock claimed Alexandra wanted to do something more useful than the typical official visits to wounded soldiers. New portrait of King Charles III on 50p unveiled by Royal Mint. King Charles III will become the first king to appear on British coins since the Queen ascended the throne in 1952. His portrait will appear initially on special £5 crown and 50p coins in honour of the late Queen's life, before expanding to commemorative coins and general circulation. Take a look here. Prince Arthur trained to be a nurse during the First World War, having been moved by the effects of conflict. In her privately printed book A Nurse's Story, the princess wrote, "The lives of most people were abruptly and unmistakably changed." The princess continued, "Ever since I can remember I wanted to be a nurse. But I never thought there would be the remotest possibility of my dream coming true. When I married, my dream of being a nurse was further off than ever. Then the war came, and opportunity beckoned." Prince Arthur of Connaught, Alexandra's husband, was the first to approve, and took the princess to St Mary's Hospital in Paddington to meet the matron. After passing her nursing exams, Alexandra joined the staff at the hospital and worked as a fully trained nurse under the name Nurse Marjorie. When the war came to an end, the princess continued to train at St Mary's and became a state-registered nurse in 1919. Later, she received a first prize award for a paper she had written on eclampsia, a serious condition where high blood pressure results in seizures during pregnancy, and she was awarded a Certificate of Merit at Queen Charlotte's Hospital, where she specialised in gynecology. During the 20s and 30s, Alexandra worked in several London hospitals. At University College Hospital and Charing Cross Hospital, she specialised in surgery and was capable of performing minor operations. In July 1925, she received the badge of the Royal Red Cross for her service to the nursing profession. Following the death of her husband in 1938, the princess opened her own nursing home in Banting Street, London. The Fife Nursing Home was open for more than 10 years. It was only when Prince Arthur's health, she suffered from acute rheumatoid arthritis, began to deteriorate that the nursing home was forced to close in 1949. the princess retired to her home in Regent's Park, which she was largely confined to due to her arthritis. During this time, Alexandra had been appointed as the president and patron of the Royal British Nurses Association and the patron of the Plaistow Maternity Hospital. In 1940, she became the president of the Mental Aftercare Association. It was a time when more attention was being paid to the importance of treating mental health issues. Ms. Koenig said, she was already advocating for mental health issues in the 40s. The historian referenced a piece from the London Times in 1943, which details a speech given by Princess Arthur at a meeting of the Mental Aftercare Association. Alexandra urged early treatment of mental patients. She insisted that precious time was lost by the failure to realize that a great number of the minor bodily disturbances so common in these difficult times were really the symptoms of an early mental disorder. The chairman of the Mental Hospitals Committee said that public opinion would have to be created that would regard mental disorders in exactly the same way as they regarded any other illness, and not as something to hide and be ashamed of, as reported in the Times. The Mental Aftercare Association is the oldest mental health charity in the UK and is now known as Together for Mental Wellbeing. Princess Arthur remained patron of the charity until her death in 1959. Since then, a number of royals have spoken out against the stigma surrounding mental health. Diana, Princess of Wales, is commonly associated with opening the conversation about mental health as she recognized the important issues and spoke openly about her own struggles with bulimia and postnatal depression. In her 1995 BBC interview, Diana spoke of bulimia as a consequence of the breakdown of her relationship with then Prince Charles. She said, "That's like a secret disease you inflict it upon yourself because your self-esteem is at a low ebb, and you don't think you're worthy or valuable. You fill your stomach up 4 or 5 times a day, some do it more, and it gives you a feeling of comfort." She also discussed her struggles with postpartum depression, saying, "I was unwell with postnatal depression, which no one ever discusses, and that in itself was a bit of a difficult time. I received a great deal of treatment, but I knew in myself that actually what I needed was space and time to adapt to all the different roles that had come my way." Now, over 20 years later, the late prince's sons continue her legacy by doing the same sort of advocacy work their mother had pursued. Prince Harry, in particular, has been very open about the mental health issues he has faced. In 2021, he worked with Oprah Winfrey to produce The Me You Can't See, a documentary series in which he opened up about how he dealt with his mother's death. He admitted, "I was willing to drink. I was willing to take drugs. I was willing to try and do the things that made me feel less like I was feeling. I was so angry with what happened to her. And the fact that there was no justice, at all. Nothing came from that. The same people that chased her into the tunnel photographed her dying on the backseat of that car." The prince feared history repeating itself when his wife Meghan Markle was facing difficulties within the firm. He said, "It takes me back to what happened to my mum and what I experienced when I was a kid. The only way to free yourself and break out is to tell the truth. I've got a hell of a lot of my mum in me." His candid comments came after he and Meghan stepped down from their roles within the royal family. They later revealed that they had struggled with their mental health ahead of their exit. In their interview with Oprah, the Duchess of Sussex bravely opened up about having suicidal thoughts while pregnant with her son, Archie Harrison. She said, "Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time and ashamed to have to admit it to Harry, especially, because I know how much loss he has suffered, but I knew that if I didn't say it, then I would do it. I just didn't want to be alive anymore." The pair now work closely with and support mental health charities and organizations. Last year, the Duke became Chief Impact Officer at BetterUp, the largest mental health and coaching startup in the world. Before that, he spearheaded Heads Together, a mental health initiative which tries to tackle stigma while fundraising for a series of innovative new mental health services, alongside the newly appointed Prince and Princess of Wales. Now, it is led by the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales, who also desire to end mental health discrimination. In May, Prince William and Princess Kate took over every radio station in the country to deliver an important message during the Mental Health Minute. Speaking about loneliness and mental health, they encouraged people to reach out to those who may be struggling, with Kate saying, "Because these small acts of kindness can make a big difference and help us all feel less lonely." Ms. Koenig acknowledged the benefits of the young royals speaking about mental health, but emphasized, the discussion around mental health is always associated with Princess Diana or Prince William, but Princess Arthur came before them. She saw that it was important, even back then,